good for the aspect that the rider's never been up them on a bike before, so they've taken marks.
Now obviously it's 100 years centenary of the Scottish 6 Days. Scottish is a traditional trial. It went back to no stop after a period of stop permitted back in the 90s, which revitalised the trial, got the numbers back up. But it's a very traditional trial, and you know, a lot of people like to see the Scottish exactly the same, but there are always changes being planned, and to keep it going into its 200th or its second century, let's say. Now we've been to John Hume earlier on, and there's been some sort of constructive criticism, I would say, about the trial and how it's been run this year, and about the severity of it. Do you think it's a bit hard for the clubmen, or is that just a case of things have taken effect that we don't know about?
I don't think it's changed fundamentally too much for the clubmen. It's always been hard for the clubmen. If you look at the variation in scores from the top to the bottom, I mean, the top guys are losing very little, and we've had some constructive criticism about maybe putting in harder sections. If we make every section hard all day, we would lose the majority of the trial. It's a fine balance between making it in a professional trial. Fundamentally, it's a Scottish 6 days. It's been this way for a century now. I don't see the point, and we don't see the point in putting in 30 hard sections every single day. If we've got a situation where we've got 3-4 riders at the top, we need to split them up. Yeah, we can put in a few sections to spread them out. But at the end of the day, we don't want to upset the rest of the trial, and we're trying to get a fine balance. We'll never please everybody, unfortunately. You know, the comments we're getting back, I've had a mixed bag this week, people saying to me that it's just perfect, they're thoroughly enjoying it. A few people mentioning one sub perhaps that was too hard, but one sub out of 30, I think we've got a good balance there, personally.
I mean, obviously, we said earlier on that the Scottish 6 Days is staffed by not professional promoters, it's volunteers, isn't it, Jeff?
We're all volunteers, we've all got a passion for trials. We've been in trialing since some of us since we've been, it's in the family, you know, it's generation after generation. And yes, we are all just volunteers. We come up here, we give our time up to come up here. It's a passion now, you know, and this year with the 100th year, the extra bits and pieces that we've done, I think we're looking forward now. The likes of the marquee in the car park here, a wee meeting place after the event, all these things, all the comments we're getting from people, all these things will be put into place, and hopefully we'll move forward from here.
Now, if somebody wants to give you some feedback, which is very useful, how would they go about doing that? Would they write to anybody in particular, or speak to someone?
There's a number of ways of doing it with the medium of the internet nowadays. You can send emails in, you can send a letter in to us, you can talk to us, phone us, anything, you know, and everybody's comments will be listened to. And off the back of that, we think we will improve every year.
Now, what happens now? Obviously, after today, you take everything away. Later on today, there's the presentation of awards tonight at the Nevis Centre. What happens now, let's say next week, after the trial's finished? Anything happen with the Scottish then?
We have a meeting next week just to go over everything and re-elect or diselect the committee members. We then have a month or two off, and then we're back to monthly meetings. We have a couple of landowners that we come up and we do some remedial works just to make sure that there's not going to be any erosion over the winter time, and it's full on from there again.
So I'll let you crack on, because I know you're busy and you've got a lot to do today. Thanks very much for coming in and speaking to us at Nevis Radio, covering the Scottish. That's Jeff Horn, Deputy Clerk of the course, Scottish 6 Days.
Just like to say one thing, on behalf of Nevis Radio, it's an absolute pleasure to have Nevis Radio doing what they're doing all week, and especially having the Monster here doing what he does.
I know.
On that, I'm going to go.
Thanks very much, Jeff Horn.
Thanks,
Jeff, for the kind words for Nevis Radio, which is really appreciated by not only the club, it's appreciated by the riders, because they get a bit of music while they're doing their prep in the morning. A lot of the observers listening to the radios on their cars and vehicles going to the section, so they leave pretty early. And it's all good promotion for motorcycle sport in general and trials riding, and of course Scottish 6 Days trial.
Have you noticed something?
It's raining.
It's raining.
Slightly.
But you know, Mr. Weller has got the comfort and security of a nice warm building.
He certainly has. Oh yeah.
No, that wasn't him. That was the mobster did that. Hey. Next year, possibly. Yeah, yeah.
Is that because they want to see some of the action?
Yeah.
No, see, that's clear, because
it's all part of future development for Nebus TV through Nebus Radio.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of legality that we've got to... In fact, there's a lot of legality we've got to jump through in order to do that sort of thing, because let's face it, we are the only radio station covering this, but we're not the only media organisation covering this, so we have to work closely with other guys. We've got to work very closely with them, so we don't want to step on anybody's toes.
Yeah, that's right. And you've also got to speak to the Edinburgh Club, the organisers, too, because it's not only about getting permissions, but also some guidance as to where the best places to do that would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And which means we need to expand our Nebus Radio broadcast team again.
Yeah.
Have you? Yes, I know Fergie very well. Yes. Is he prawns? Skinny prawns? Any language he's come back over? There you go.
Wow.
Guess what Mobster said? 89.
A bit light on the old displacement. I'm sorry.
Yeah, very much indeed. Fergie, he's a good lad. And every time Nebus Radio, we undertake a lot of events throughout the course of a year. And we do a lot of things for charity and a lot of things for the community. And every time we do something at an auction, he's there with us. He always puts his hand deep into his pocket.
Sounds like a top bloke.
He is a top lad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does indeed. Right. I think we did it together. That was together. That was worrying.
Tell us what's next, Dogster.
Yeah, we'll do the weather now. Yeah, do it right now. Yeah, you crack on. I got a cloudy start with showery outbreaks of rain. We've got that now. Heavy at times, is slowly dying out and clearing from the south during the course of this morning. With sunny spells and a few showers this afternoon. Very warm, especially in the northwest where we are. Maximum high 22 today. 72 Fahrenheit. Doesn't feel like that at the moment, though.
Doesn't feel like that at the moment, but I'm sure it will.
Yeah. Tonight, showers becoming more widespread during the evening, then largely dying out overnight. But more persistent rain will spread north later, again with heavy bursts of rain. Well, we don't really care because the trial will be over then. Minimum overnight low 11 Celsius, 52 Fahrenheit. Tomorrow, Sunday, a cloudy morning with outbreaks of rain, which will be heavy at times, followed by drier, brighter conditions from the southwest during the afternoon and evening. High tomorrow, 17, 63 Fahrenheit. Not bad.
Just when we're going home.
That's when you're packing up, you're getting the Mobster Circus ready to roll.
What is it?
It's Sunday.
Shape up? No, load up and ship out, isn't it?
No, it's shape up and ship out.
Shape up and shape out.
No, ship out.
Ship out and... Aye,
yeah.
Okay. I'll not do that too much in case I make a mistake.
Yeah.
Not recommended.
No garlic.
Nope. No garlic.
No, okay. Let's have a look. Time-wise, what is it, John? 'Cause I can't see over here. It's 11:23 minutes, 25 seconds, 26 seconds. I know that. And we're with you for the final hour. I can't believe it.
The final hour of the final day of the Scottish 6 Days Trial, the Centenary Edition.
Yeah. Before we play a tune, can we have that sponsor music and backing track? I think we should do the scores and the doors. Oh, well, we like to put you guys on the spot, and you've been with us for 5 days. Well, in fact, for 6 days, but you're back in the studio at the moment, and you know how it works. You know how poor Simon's up with it, and there's been no sign of him so far. Are you ready then?
Yes, I am. Scottish 6 Days Trial 2011. If you've been sleeping all week, this is the Centenary Edition. You've still got time. Yeah, still got time to go out and see the action today. And the weather's not too bad. I've seen it worse here, but never mind. Anyway, in first position, Leeds rider, but more importantly, factory beta rider James Dable on 9 marks lost. In second position is Alex Wigg, and he is riding the Sherco. He's on 13 marks lost. In third position, previous winner of the Scottish. In fact, all three men, in the top 3 at the moment, have all been previous winners. Third position, Graham Jarvis on the Pidcock Honda, 14 marks lost. In fourth position, Michael Brown on the Gas. He's dropped 15. Dougie Lampkin, former winner, in fifth position on 22. In sixth position, Gary MacDonald on 28 marks lost. Then comes Ian Oustermule on 29 marks lost in seventh position. Eighth position, another former winner, Sam Connor on 31. Dan Thorpe in 9th position on the Gas, also on 31, and in 10th position riding the Beta, Ben Hemingway on 32 marks lost. Moving on to the Scottish riders and also the local riders to this area of Scotland. We have Gary MacDonald in first position on 28, Neil Dawson in second position on 186, Gavin Johnson from Inverness in third position on 192, Andrew Anderson from Cullen in fifth position on 201. Sorry, I jumped one there. Fourth position, Ian McPhail on 195, then Andrew Anderson on 201. Sixth position, Lee Shanky on 206, Stuart Rocket in 7th position on 243, Ian Shedden in 8th position 246, Alan MacDonald in 9th position on 270, is formerly from Mallaig, Grant Adamson in 10th position on 294, then we'll have Peter Carmichael from Corpac in 11th position on 321, Murray Whittaker brings up 12th position, he's from Stonehaven, 323 marks, George Noble from Skirling Biggar in 13th position on 335. Then we have John Sanderson from Fort William in 14th position on 339. Duncan Mitchell has dropped 341 marks so far in 15th position. In 16th position, David Moffat from Culloden on 357 marks lost, and he has won the Michelin Trials rear tyre, the X-Lite. Grant Reid from Edinburgh, 17th position, 368 marks. Dougie Gibson, who's just about to start, or is possibly away now. Dougie Gibson, rider 144, local businessman on 380. Then we have Gordie Murray from Everton in 19th position on 384 marks. Then we have Ewan Campbell, local gamekeeper, in 20th position on 385. Lewis Bell from Gorebridge, who I noticed still riding the RTL Honda, which was his grandfather's, built in 1986, and the tank shelter's been put on, the original one's been put on the Pinky, and it's been signed by 3 times world champion Eddie Lejeune. So that's nice to see that, a little memento for Lewis there from his Scottish ride, the 100th year. He's got the bike round. That's a really superhuman effort to do that. Frank Mackle, 22 position, 405 marks. Scott Gordon in 23rd position, 417. Ian Buckner from Bathgate, 24th position, 445. Then we have Gavin Brown from Fort William, local rider, 450 marks in 25th position. Ian Shanky in 26th position, 471. And then local rider Gary the Fish McLennan, Gary's valet, 498 marks in 27th position.
Is that your lot then?
That's it.
Thank you so much
for
indeed.
the moment.
Alright, what would you... Are we going to play a tune or a break? It's entirely up to you back in the studio. Listen, it's everything you do is okay with me.
Everything you do is driven by me.
Could we have that song then? Yeah. Really, that's a shame. Oh, we find that hard to do. You know, because it's a struggle for us, isn't it?